I would like to say a few things about the next speaker.
Željela bi reći par stvari o sljedećem govorniku.
We all know him.
Svi ga znamo.
We have listened to his hundreds, I don't know, thousands tapes.
Slušali smo stotine njegovih kazeta.
He is a big leader, a big dreamer.
On je veliki lider, veliki sanjač.
He inspires everybody.
On inspirira sve nas.
And I am very honored to welcome him on stage.
I vrlo sam počašćena što ga mogu pozdraviti na bini.
Ladies and gentlemen,
dame i gospodo,
please help me welcome on stage.
Molim vas, pomognite mi da pozovem na binu Krunskog ambasadora iz Australije, MITCH SALA.
Okay, she's coming back.
U redu, ona se vraća.
So Diri is coming back, don't worry.
Dakle, Didi se vraća, ne
I'm going to be
brinite.
as fast as I can.
Ja ću biti najbrže što je to moguće.
What time do the buses leave?
Kada autobus kreće?
2.
U 2.
No chance.
Nema šanse.
Okay.
U redu.
No, we'll be fast. It's okay.
Dobro, u redu je, bit ću brz.
If we got the same group of people together 2 years from now,
Ako imamo istu grupu ljudi zajedno, 2 godine od sada,
100% predictable we would have new diamonds on stage tonight. 100% predictable.
100% je predvidivo da ćemo imati puno novih dijamanata.
There would be new diamonds for sure, 100% predictable tonight, just 2 years from now.
Oni mogu biti tačno za 2 godine od sada novi dijamanti.
And there would be people that
100%.
would not be in the business anymore, that are in this room.
A bit će i ljudi koji su sada u ovoj prostoriji, a više neće biti u poslu za
You're
2
gonna quit.
godine. Odustaće.
It's the same business,
Isti je posao,
the same BBSs,
isti
the
BBS
same
seminari,
tapes,
iste
the
kasete,
same upline,
ista gornja
the
linija,
same again diamond,
a neki će biti dijamanti,
and some are going to quit.
a neki će odustati.
So what's the difference?
Pa u čemu je razlika?
Just about everything has to do with how you think.
Samo u načinu razmišljanja.
And there's 2 things, the dream
Ima 2 stvari tu, san
and duplication.
i duplikacija.
That's it. That's what this whole business is.
I to je sve, u tome se sastoji ceo
If you
posao.
got a dream, it's easy.
Ako imate san, onda je lako.
It doesn't matter what the dream is, but if you got it, it's easy.
Nije važno šta je vaš san, ali ako ga imate, onda je
This is
lako.
the price of success.
To je cena uspeha.
And if your dream is here, it's impossible.
I onda tu, ako je vaš san
If your
ispod te
dream is here,
cene,
it's easy.
nemoguće. A ukoliko je vaš san
But
iznad
there is
te
a price
cene,
of
onda je vrlo
success.
lako. A ima cena za
That
uspeh.
price you can't change.
Tu cenu vi ne možete promeniti.
Going from there to diamond, there's a price.
Da biste došli odavde do dijamanta, postoji
And
određena
there's
cena.
a different price for everybody in this room.
Za svakoga je ta cena različita u ovoj
Everybody in this
prostoriji.
room has to change something to pay a price.
Svako od vas mora nešto promeniti da bi platio tu cenu.
Now, I might talk about that later.
A o tome ću pričati kasnije.
But the other thing is, what do you do from here to here?
A druga stvar je šta vi radite odavde do
This whole
dijamanta.
business is about duplication.
Ceo biznis se zasniva
This
na
whole
duplikaciji.
system is about duplication.
Ceo sistem se zasniva na duplikaciji.
Everything in the system has to do with duplication. Everything.
Dakle, sve u ovom sistemu ima veze sa duplikacijom.
The big numbers that Peter talked about in depth, that's duplication.
Veliki brojevi o kojima je Peter govorio u dubini, i to je
Depth is all
duplikacija.
about duplication.
Dubina se zasniva na duplikaciji.
Everything we talk about, the goal is duplication.
Sve o čemu pričamo je duplikacija i ciljevi se
Without the dream,
dupliciraju.
you're never going to do anything.
Bez treninga ne možete ništa učiniti,
But try and understand the business that you're in.
ali pokušajte da razumete posao u kome se
So many
nalazite.
people are so confused. What do I concentrate on?
Mnogi ljudi su potpuno zbunjeni i pitaju se na što treba da se koncentrišem. Na trake, na ulaznice. Joj, ne znam na što da se fokusiram.
Everything we talk about is duplication. Everything. That's the goal.
Sve o čemu pričamo je duplikacija i to je naš cilj.
Now, it doesn't matter if you take Peter Ross's or Peter Cox's talk tonight.
Nije važno da li ćete prihvatiti govor Petera
It was
Rossa
only
ili
a
Petera
short time
Coxa.
ago.
Oni su imali
And I'm
dosta malo
sure right
vremena.
now you can hardly remember anything.
I siguran sam da se sada jedva sećate
Peter
nečega.
Ross spoke about 4 hours ago.
Peter Ross je pričao pre jedno 4 sata.
That was one of the most brilliant talks I've ever heard on how to work with your upline.
To je jedan od najbriljantnijih govora koje sam ja čuo u vezi vašeg odnosa prema
Some of
gornjoj
you went
liniji.
out to have a smoke.
Neki su izlazili da puše,
Some of you were sitting there scratching your backside.
Neki su sedeli i
Some of you
češljali
were looking
zadnji
at the
deo.
person in front, their haircut.
Neko ispred je gledao osobu kako se
Many of you
ošišala,
took really good notes.
ali neki od vas su zaista hvatali beleške.
But if you looked at your notes now, what would you have?
Ali ako sada pogledate svoje beleške, šta ćete imati?
What if we called you up here tonight to reproduce Peter's talk?
Šta kad bi vas večeras pozvali na binu da reprodukujete
He
Peterov
spoke for
govor?
about 45 minutes.
Da li bi trajalo 45
Some
minuta?
quite simple concepts you've heard before, just expressed differently.
Da li će to biti neki koncepti o kojima ste čuli već ranije, pa će
What
samo
if I
malo
called you up
drugačije
here tonight
sada
to talk about?
to objasniti?
How would you go?
Kako biste vi to učinili?
You'd be lucky if you could speak for 5 minutes on what he talked about.
Imali biste sreće ukoliko biste uspeli da pričate 5
No matter
minuta
what the notes you have.
ono o čemu je on pričao.
One of the most powerful parts of the system for duplication is tape.
Jedan od najmoćnijih delova sistema za duplikaciju su trake.
If that was recorded tonight,
Ako je to snimljeno večeras,
you could get a copy and go home tonight
možete dobiti jedan primjerak i otići kući
and
večeras
listen again.
i slušati je ponovo.
It's perfect and pure information.
To je savršena i čista
The tape
informacija.
recorder didn't go out to have a smoke.
Jer kasetofon nije izlazio napolje
The
da
tape
puši.
recorder didn't get distracted with a haircut in front of him.
Kasetofon nije gledao osobu ispred sebe i njenu
You
frizuru.
understand how powerful these tapes are?
Shvatate li kako su moćne ove kasete?
If Peter Ross did that talk again 1 month from now, it wouldn't be the same talk. Tonight was one moment in time.
Ako za mjesec dana Peter Ross bude opet pričao o ovoj temi, to neće biti isti govor. Ovo je nešto jedinstveno.
Depth talks I've ever heard in my life.
To je jedan od najboljih govora o dubini koje sam ja čuo u svom životu.
Understand the power of the tapes?
Da li razumete snagu kaseta?
This is beautiful, perfect information, nothing lost.
To je divna, savršena informacija, ništa se nije
You can
izgubilo.
listen to it tonight 3 times.
Možete noćas slušati 3 puta.
You can listen to it tomorrow.
Možete slušati sutra
You can listen to it next week.
i narednog
You can
vikenda.
listen to it 6 months from now.
Možete slušati za 6
That
mjeseci.
same talk.
Isti govor.
You could sell that to a distributor, give that to a distributor.
Možete to pokloniti ili prodati
10
distributeru.
distributors could get that talk.
10 distributera može dobiti
50
ovu
could get
traku.
that talk.
50.
10,000 could get that talk.
10.000 može čuti ovu priču.
5 years from now, people could get that talk.
5 godina od sada ljudi mogu čuti ovu priču.
Do you understand the power of this?
Da li slušate, da
Do
li
you really,
shvatate
really
moć
understand what this does?
kaseta? Šta one
This is
zapravo
the most
čine?
powerful tool we have for duplication.
To je najmoćnije oruđe za duplikaciju koje
Not
mi imamo.
only information, but emotion.
Ne informacija, nego
Can you remember hearing a
Protok
tape that you
informacije.
heard at a seminar and it aroused the same emotion in you?
znate ono kada čujete traku sa seminara pa ono u vama probudi opet iste emocije.
Jim's talk expanded your thinking last night.
Jimov govor je, nadam se, proširio
3
vaše
days from
poglede
now, you'll
sinoć,
forget most of that.
ali za 3 dana ćete zaboraviti većinu toga.
3 days from now, the 1,000 days is nothing.
I 3 dana od sada, to 1000
3
dana
days from
neće
now,
ništa
you're worried
značiti.
about the guy that hasn't paid you for last week's tapes.
Za 3 dana ćete razmišljati o momku
You
koji
know
nije
the vision
platio
for 1,000 days
kasete.
from now?
Sada imate viziju za
You
dan
could plug that tape in and listen
2000.
again.
godine, ali ponovo stavite
I've
onda
got
ovu
many
traku.
tapes I've listened to many times.
Ima mnogo kaseta koje sam ja mnogo puta
Over and
slušao.
over and over and
Iznova,
over and
iznova,
over
iznova.
again.
I opet,
And I learn every time.
i svaki put nešto novo
I
naučim.
could listen to Peter Cox's talk in 2 years from now and I could learn from that.
I u toku naredne 2 godine mogu slušati non stop Petera Coxa i
Because I
uvek
would have
naučiti
had
nešto
different
novo.
experiences 2 years from now.
Jer ću imati različite iskustva
I would have lost
za 2
more
godine.
legs 2 years from now.
Imaću više nogu,
That's where you learn.
više grana, a
Because
u
you
njima
didn't do that
učimo.
properly.
Nešto ne
I
uradimo
know
kako
about that. I've
treba,
got 4 21% legs we built that I don't have anymore.
jer grane nam se gube. Recimo, mi imamo 4 grane koje smo
You
imali
learn.
smo 4 grane, a sada ih više
But
nemamo.
over and over and
Ali
over
baš
again.
zato treba stalno da se uči, uvek
It's
iznova da se
beautiful,
uči.
pure information.
To je divna, čista informacija.
Now, every part of the system is about duplication.
I svaki deo sistema se u suštini
just
odnosi na
understand what this
duplikaciju.
is.
Da li shvatite šta je ovo?
I love them. We would not be in the business if it wasn't for tapes.
Volim kasete. Da nije njih, ne
I
bismo
know you
bili u
know
biznisu. Znam da vi to znate,
You don't use these properly.
ali vi ne koriste
You don't
njih na
even use them for
odgovarajući
yourself
način.
properly.
Čak ni za same sebe.
Most of the markets have good tapes on depth.
Većina naših tržišta ima dobre kasete o građenju dubine.
Tonight you really shouldn't have learnt anything.
Večeras se stvari ništa niste trebali da
It
naučite.
should have just been a reminder.
Jednostavno trebali smo da vas
How many
podsjetimo
times
samo.
have you listened to the depth tapes? How many?
Koliko kaseta ste slušali o dubini?
There's one of them we've got in Australia I've listened to more than 200 times.
Ima jedna kaseta u Australiji koju sam slušao više od 200
I learned the
puta.
last time I listened to it.
I zadnji put kad sam slušao naučio
The
sam nešto novo.
situation has changed.
Jer se situacija menja.
But that was only done once.
A ona je napravljena samo jednom.
There's many talks that you can't be at,
Ima mnogo govora
and you
koje
can get those talks.
možete dobiti
There's no limit.
preko kaseta.
It's unbelievable.
Nema ograničenja, to je
But
neverovatno.
still, what happens?
I ipak šta se
Did you
dešava?
sign up somebody last week and they got in the business and
Da
got
li
no
vam se
tapes?
uključio neko prošle nedelje
As he signs his form,
kada potpisuje formular
he's signing his death certificate.
kao da potpisuje smrtnu presudu?
His own death certificate.
Sopstvenu
If
smrtnu
that's
presudu.
all he's got when he starts a business, he is going to fail.
I ako je to sve što on ima i time započinje posao, sigurno će
A
propasti.
new distributor needs tapes, no option.
Nov distributer potrebne
If
su
they
mu
won't buy
kasete.
them, I'll lend them to them.
A ako ne može da ih odmah
They
kupi,
need
pozajmiću
tapes.
mu. Njima trebaju
The second
trake.
type of distributor is the guy that gets the tools, the tickets and the tapes.
Drugo, potrebne su mu
Is he
ulaznice.
going to succeed?
Da li želi da uspe?
No, not necessarily.
Nije neophodno da uspe.
Just getting the tapes doesn't do anything.
Jer ako se samo uzimaju trake, to još ništa ne znači.
just gives him a chance of survival.
Samo što im se daje šansa da
And the third
prežive.
type of distributor is the guy that's on the tools
I treće,
and he's working, he's showing the plan.
on pokazuje
And
marketing
if you
plan.
don't carefully look at your group that way, you're going to miss a lot of things in your group.
I ako na taj način ne gledate distributere u svojoj grupi, mnogo ćete izgubiti.
How are you going to end up lying on the beach one day with apps coming in every single month?
Kako ćete završiti na nekoj plaži uživajući sa ljudima koji vam se stalno priključuju?
I know network builder, that's your job.
Ali vi ste
Everything in the
graditelj
system
mreže.
is to build a network.
To vam je
Everything.
posao, da gradite mrežu.
So if you're here by yourself tonight,
I ako ste večeras ovde sami,
you heard some great talks.
čuli ste neke sjajne
If you
govore,
have 10 people here with you tonight,
ako večeras ovde imate 10 ljudi,
that's powerful.
to je moćno.
If you had 100 people with you here tonight,
Ako večeras ovde imate 100 ljudi,
some people do,
a neki ljudi ih imaju,
that's powerful, that's duplication.
to je zaista moćno, to je duplikacija.
Simple, basic parts of the system.
Osnovni i
The
najjednostavniji
size of your
deo
business depends on how
sistema.
many people you got it to function. Simple.
Veličina vašeg posla zavisi od broja ljudi koji idu na
That is
seminare.
the size of your business.
U tome je veličina vašeg posla.
So whether it's the next open plan, the next BBS, how many people will you have there?
Dakle, na sljedećem kursu MLM-a ili na BBS seminaru, koliko ljudi ćete imati?
If you look at the vital signs,
Ako gledate vitalne znake,
and I've spoken to some good leaders just in the last 2 days that don't know what the vital signs are.
i upoznao sam neke dobre vođe prethodna 2 dana koji ne znaju što su
If you
vitalni
haven't got a
znaci.
vital signs chart, get one.
Ako nemate onaj formular za vitalne
There is
znake,
one.
onda nabavite, on
Know the
postoji.
vital signs.
I upoznajte se sa vitalnim
The vital
znacima,
signs are tools for duplication.
jer oni su oruđe za duplikaciju.
PV is the biggest distraction in this business you can have.
Najveća prepreka u ovom poslu su bodovi.
It's unbelievable. I don't care what your PV was last month. It means nothing.
Ne interesuje me kolika je vaša bonusna zarada prošlog
You
meseca.
have 2 silvers here tonight,
To nije ništa. Imate večeras ovde dve
10,000
jedinice.
PV each.
Obe imaju po 10.000
One of
bodova.
them has 10 people on RT, one has 100 people on RT.
Jedna ima 10 ljudi na kasetnom programu, a druga 100.
1 year from now, big difference.
Za 1 godinu bit će velika razlika
One of
među
them has a
njima.
leg 6 deep that hasn't gone deeper in 3 months.
Jedna će otići samo do 6. dubine,
One
nijedna
of
nova
them's got legs
dubina u 3
going deeper
meseca.
every month.
A ovaj drugi će svakog meseca
1
ići
year
sve
from
dublje
now,
i dublje.
big difference.
I za godinu dana od sada među njima će biti velika razlika.
One person here has 10 people at the last BBS, one had 150 at the last BBS.
Jedna osoba ovdje imala 10 ljudi na zadnjem BBS-u, a druga 150.
You know these things,
Vi znate ove stvari,
but you got to stop and be deliberate about building your business.
ali treba da se zaustavite i da voljno radite
You're a
ove stvari
network
u vašem
builder.
biznisu. Jer vi ste graditelji
How do you
mreže.
build a network?
Kako gradimo mrežu?
Get people in your group.
Tako što uključujemo ljude u svoju grupu.
How do you get people in your group?
A kako uključujete ljude u svoju mrežu?
Plan showers.
pokazujete marketing plan.
Do you know how many 15 planners you have in each leg now?
Da li znate koliko imate srebrnih orlova u svakoj nozi sada?
Right now, if I asked you how many legs have 15 planners, could you answer right now?
Ako bih vas to sada upitao, da li biste odmah mogli da mi odgovorite?
Maybe some of you can because you got one or two legs.
Možda neki od vas bi mogli, zato što imaju samo jednu ili dve grane.
Be deliberate about what you're doing.
Budite svesni toga što
You
radite.
could have got into this room just working hard and having a dream to be on stage. That's great.
Vi ste u ovoj sobi zašto ste naporno radili i imali ste san. I to je
To go
divno.
from here to here is not just working hard.
Ali da biste došli od toga gde ste sada do dijamanta,
The vital
ne treba
signs
vam
is
samo
like working
naporan
on
rad.
your business, not in your business.
Vitalni znaci su deo vašeg posla.
Okay, when you're looking at your vital signs in each leg, you're looking at your business.
I kada ih gledate u svakoj od vaših grana, onda posmatrate svoj biznis.
If you're preparing your information properly, that's 90% of the counseling, even before you talk to your upline.
A ako pravilno pripremite sve informacije, to je 90% konsultacija.
If you've got a leg that doesn't have more 15 planners this month than last month, that leg's not bigger.
A ako imate granu koja se ne održava više marketinga ove meseca nego
How can it get
prethodnog,
bigger
onda
6 months from now? How
ta
can
grana neće porasti. Kako da poraste?
you need more 15 planners?
Treba vam još srebrnih
That's the
orlova.
duplication.
To je duplikacija.
You need to show 30 plans.
Vi treba da pokazujete 30
Minimum.
marketinga.
If you're not standing on stage at 30 plans, how are you going to duplicate that in your group?
Ako vi niste zlatni orao, kako ćete to duplicirati u svojoj grupi?
Have you got a deliberate strategy to lift your 15 planners to 30 plans?
Ako imate svesno dobro napravljenu strategiju da držite
Have you
15
got
do
a deliberate
30
strategy
marketinga,
every leg how many 15 planners you'll have?
ako na vreme isplanirate kako u svakoj grani
Do
da
you know who
imate
those people
srebrne i
are?
zlatne orlove i znate ko su ti ljudi,
You know the ones right at the bottom of the leg?
i ako posmatrate i onu na
Do
dnu
you follow their
grane
progress right through the month?
i pratite njihov napredak iz meseca
You
u
sit
mesec
down with them 11 o'clock at night and inspire them to do it?
i sedite sa njima u 11 sati uveče i inspirišete ih da to učine.
It's just being deliberate with the business.
To se sve svesno planira u ovom poslu.
Tapes.
Kasete.
Okay, we talk about that a lot.
O tome bismo mogli puno
What
da
happens when you
pričamo.
watch how many tapes go through a group?
Šta se dešava kada pratite koliko traka prolazi kroz
Do you
grupu?
know how many tapes went through each of your legs last month?
Da li znate koliko je kaseta prošla kroz svaku od
What
vaših
does that
grana
tell you?
prethodnog meseca? Šta vam oni kažu?
It tells you how much leadership is in the group.
Šta vam to kaže? Pa kaže vam koliko vođe
The
imate u
best
grupi.
thing that tape flow tells you is how many leaders you have in a leg.
Kasete vam govore koliko lidera imate u svakoj grani.
Because leaders listen to tapes,
Jer lideri, odnosno vođe,
Leaders
slušaju
move
kasete
tapes.
i oni pokreću
leaders
kasete.
create PV.
I oni stvaraju promet.
Right? Those of you that became silvers, you didn't become silver because customers phoned you and your downline phoned you and placed orders.
Vi koji ste postali 20 jedinice niste postali to zato što su vas sada naglo zvali vaši potrošači pa su vam dali
You
velike
became a
narudžbine.
silver because you chased the PV, you chased what was happening in your group.
Već zato što ste pratili vaš promet i šta se dešava u vašoj grupi.
So the leadership in your group, you can tell by how many tapes move through your group.
O vodstvu u vašoj grupi možete zaključiti na osnovu broja
can have a
kaseta koji
leg
se
with
kreću
50
kroz vašu
RTs.
grupu. Imate granu u kojoj je 15 njih
Another leg with
preplaćeno
20 RTs.
i drugu granu u kojoj je
If the leg
20
with
njih
50
na
RTs
PK.
has 500 tapes that month,
U prvoj grupi, ako su ukupno oslušali 500 kaseta,
that's the right sort of ratio, that's what should happen.
to bi trebalo da se desi.
That's one thing.
To je pravi način, to
But
je
maybe
jedna
the leg
stvar.
with 20 RTs also has 500 tapes a month.
Možda i ovi drugi imaju 500 kaseta mesečno.
There's a lot of other tapes, not RTs, loose tapes, right?
Ali ima mnogo drugih traka, ne onih preporučenih,
That
nego onih
might
sa
be
liste.
starter packs,
I onih u početnim
might be
paketima,
info pack tapes,
onda iz info paketa,
it might be contact tapes.
kontakt kasete.
Do you watch those? What happens through your group?
Da li pratite šta se dešava u vašoj grupi?
Could you tell me now which leg moves the most contact tapes in your group?
Možete li mi sada reći u kojoj grani ide najviše kaseta?
Have you ever seen a leg move lots of contact tapes regularly and not get people in?
Da li ste videli grupe koje imaju puno kontakt kaseta i ipak ne
But you
uključuju
watch these
ljude?
things.
Vi ove stvari posmatrate.
It's all duplication.
Sve je duplikacije.
Everything it's telling you is duplication.
Sve je u duplikaciji.
I went to every European country in January.
U januaru sam obišao sve evropske
And I
zemlje.
arrived in one country, I hadn't been there for 3 months.
U jednoj od tih zemalja nisam bio 3 meseca.
And I met a couple just qualified 15%.
I upoznao sam par koji je upravo postao 15%.
They had 1,000 tapes that month in their group at 15%.
Sa svojih 15% oni su tog meseca imali 1000 kaseta u svojoj
I've got
grupi.
DDs in that country that moved 200 or 300.
A u toj zemlji imam DD koji pokreću samo oko 200-300 kaseta.
That 15% is now here with 3 downline silvers. And they are silver.
Taj od 15% je danas ovde sa 3 20 jedinica ispod
100%
sebe.
predictable to me they're going to be on the stage as emeralds next year.
I 100% da će oni naredne godine biti ovde na bini kao
But
smaragdi.
before I arrived in that country, I saw what was happening before I got there.
Pre nego što sam stigao u tu zemlju, znao sam šta će se tamo desiti.
Are you watching what's happening in your legs?
Jer vi pratite šta se dešava u vašim granama.
It's really simple stuff,
To je vrlo jednostavna stvar.
but it's all about duplication.
A sve se zasniva na duplikaciji,
Depth
na
is all about
kopiranju.
duplication.
I dubina se zasniva na
The
kopiranju.
key to massive duplication is depth.
Ključ
you know a lot of this stuff
duplikacije,
'cause it's on the
pa
tapes.
dubina. A treba slušati kasete.
This business is easy.
Ovaj posao je lak.
6 legs, 20 deep, you're a diamond.
6 nogu,
That's it.
20 dubina i vi
You're
ste
a
dijamant.
diamond, 6 legs, 20 deep. What are you waiting for?
6 širina, 20 dubina i vi ste
But how
dijamant.
you
Šta
get
čekate?
there is the duplication.
Ali kako ćete tamo doći, to zavisi od
If you get
duplikacije.
a leg 20 deep in 6 months, it doesn't work the same.
Ako imate jednu granu koja ode od 30
Get a leg
dubina
20
za
deep
6
in 6 to
meseci
9 months, it'll be 10,000 PV.
i zavisi koliko ćete dubina imati u kom roku i od toga vam zavisi ceo promet.
Get that same leg, another 20 deep, what will the PV be?
Uzmite tu istu granu i još 20 dubina, koji će onda
40,
njen promet
50,000.
biti?
It's duplication.
To je duplikacija.
Everything's duplication.
Sve je duplikacija.
So the vital signs is how you watch what's happening in your business.
Vitalni znaci, to je ono kako vi posmatrate šta se dešava u vašem
You're
poslu.
busy working
Vi ste
in your business
zauzeti
all the time.
radite sve vreme
And you get emotionally attached to the people.
i emotivno se vezujete za ljude.
And when you look at your vital signs, you step out of your business and you look at your business.
A kada gledate vitalne znake, onda iskočite vi iz svega toga i gledate
And
realno
that's
svoj
unbelievably
posao.
powerful.
To je zaista neverovatno
Because
moćna
even at
stvar.
our level in the business, we work with the wrong people often.
I iako smo dugo u poslu, recimo i mi danas često radimo s
And
pogrešnim
how we
ljudima.
wake up to it is when we look at the vital signs.
A kako se probudimo i dođemo sebi pa pogledamo vitalne znake.
Working with the right people is duplication.
Raditi s pravim ljudima i to je
Got to
duplikacija.
get good at finding the right people.
Postanite dobri u traženju pravih ljudi.
So what are some of the characteristics of the right people?
Koje su karakteristike
Number
dobrih
one, they listen to the
saradnika?
tapes.
Pod jedan, slušaju kasete.
They're on the tools.
Koriste oruđe,
They can't get enough.
nikada im nije dosta.
Number two, they're obsessive.
Pod dva, oni su opsednuti.
Your best people in your group are going to be obsessive.
Najbolji ljudi u vašoj grupi će biti opsednuti.
The best example I can always use is a guy in Indonesia who's an emerald.
Najbolji primjer koji mogu da uzmem je jedan smaragd momak iz Indonezije.
There was no tapes in Indonesia in Indonesian in the beginning,
Na
right?
početku tržišta nije bilo u Indoneziji kaseta na
His upline
indonežanskom.
gave him 2 tapes,
Neko mu je dao 2
told
trake
him you got to listen to tapes.
i rekao mu je moraš da slušaš trake.
And every day he listened to the tapes.
Svaki dan je slušao trake.
These 2 tapes over and over and over again.
2 trake, iznova i opet
He lived
iznova.
12 hours from his sponsor.
Stanovo je 12 sati od svog
And he listened
sponzora.
to these tapes over and over again.
Slušao je kasete uvek iznova.
One problem.
Samo jedan
The tapes
problem.
were in English.
Kasete su bile na engleskom.
He didn't speak English.
A on nije govorio engleski.
But they told him you got to listen to tapes if you want to be successful.
Ali oni su mu rekli moraš da slušaš kasete ako želiš da budeš
He kept
uspešan.
listening.
I on je nastavljao da ih sluša.
Eventually he got a dictionary, Indonesian English dictionary, and he would listen word by word.
Slučajno imao je rečnik i slušao je reč po reč.
That guy went emerald in 2 years.
Postao je smaragd za 2 godine.
But when he came to Australia to visit us,
A kada je došao u Australiju da nas poseti,
we got a really nice house.
mi imamo zaista lepu kuću.
It's nice.
Lepa je.
He lived in a tiny little apartment in Indonesia.
On živi u malom stanu u
He bought an
Indoneziji.
airline ticket to come to a weekend.
Kupio je aviokartu da bi došao na seminar.
At the time we had no weekends in Indonesia, he came to Australia.
Pošto tada na početku nismo imali seminare u Indoneziji, on je
Spent
došao u
everything he had
Australiju.
to get there.
Potrošio je sve da bi tamo došao.
Literally had no money to feed himself while he was in Australia for 1 week.
Nije imao novca da kupi hranu za tih nedelju dana što je bio u
No spare
Australiji.
money.
Nije imao ništa
We invited
više.
him to our house with some other Indonesians.
Pozvali smo ga u našu kuću sa još nekim Indonežanima.
And he came to our house and in our garage we had big racks of tapes.
Ušao je u našu kuću i u garažu i tamo je bilo jako puno kaseta.
And all these boxes full of tapes.
Gledao je te
And
kutije
he was
pune
like this
kaseta.
for 3 hours looking at the tapes.
3 sata je on pretraživao kasete,
We
gledao
kept
ih.
saying, Christian, your plane is going to leave soon. You want to come and look at the house?
Rekao sam mu, Kristijane, tvoj avion će
Yeah,
poletati.
later,
Ajde, dođi da vidiš
And
kuću.
he's getting the tapes.
Rekao je, posle.
I said to him,
Uzimao
fine,
je
you want to have a
kasete.
drive in my car? I've got a nice car.
Rekao sam, hajde se provozamo mojim kolima, imam lepa kola.
At the time, he didn't even have a car.
U to vreme on još nije ni imao
No, it's
kola.
okay.
Rekao, ne, u redu
And
je.
he left
I
with
dalje gledao
arms full of
kasete.
tapes,
Izašao je iz garaže
went
sa
back to Indonesia,
rukama puni kaseta.
and people in his group saying, well,
Vratio
what's
se
Mitch
u
and Deirdre's house
Indoneziju.
like? You know?
Pitali su ga u Indoneziji, onda, pa kakva je
He
kuća
had no
Mitcha i Deirdre
idea.
Sala? A on nije imao uopšte
Obsessive
predstavu o
people,
tome.
right?
To su, znači, opsednuti
You
ljudi.
look for obsessive people in your group.
Tražite takve ljude u svojoj grupi.
That's the right person.
To su prave osobe.
Easy to find.
Lako ih je naći.
They teachable. Because
Oni
you can have a
lako
strong
uče.
leader who's not teachable,
Ako imate jakog vođu koji ne prihvata da ga
might
učite,
not be the right person to work with at the time.
onda to nije baš prava osoba sa kojom treba da
But
sarađujete.
finding the right people is part of duplication.
A traženje pravih ljudi je deo duplikacije.
And finally, it's just width.
I naravno, tu je i širina.
I mean, there must be 100 points in the system on what you can do to improve duplication.
Trebalo bi da bude oko 100 tačaka raznih o tome kako da
But
napravite
most of you
dubinu
need more front line.
i kako da duplicirate. Pre svega,
I know you
treba
can't
više
build depth
direktnih
properly.
linija, a onda na pravi način graditi
But
dubinu.
just imagine now if you looked at all your bonus producing legs,
A zamislite ako gledate vaše bonusne grane
imagine if all of those legs you got fantastic duplication.
i zamislite da u svim tim granama fantastično funkcioniše
Would you be a
duplikacija.
diamond?
Da li biste vi bili
How many
dijamant?
bonus producing legs do you have?
Koliko
How many legs do you have
produktivnih
for
grana
15
vi imate? Koliko njih
Most of you just need a
prikazuje
lot
po
of front
15
line.
marketinga mesečno?
Most of you are looking at your group now
Mnogi od vas sada gledaju svoju grupu, kažu
and you're
smok,
trying to
smok,
see
smok,
what's going to happen to this group.
i pokušavate da vidite šta će se desiti sa tom grupom.
And they're looking at you.
A oni gledaju vas.
And most of those people in your group, what they need the most is somebody who moves on and develops a leg fast.
I većina ljudi u vašoj grupi, ono što je njima potrebno je onaj ko se ispred njih kreće brzo i razvija njihov posao.
Well, you know our story, right? After 16 months, we were 3%.
Dobro, vi znate našu priču i posle 16 meseci bili smo još uvijek 3%.
We went 21%, 75 days later.
Posle 75 dana smo bili
We went
21%.
Then
Postali
after
smo
4 years, you know what
Rubini.
level we were?
I posle 4 godine, znate gdje smo bili?
6%.
6%.
After 4 years, we were back to 6%.
Posle 4 godine smo bili
Isn't this
ponovo
motivating?
6%. Da li vas to motiviše?
Now, we
Sada?
were down to 6%, but we still had some incredible people there that later became directs.
Bili smo na 6%, ali smo još uvijek imali ispod sebe neke fantastične ljude koji su mogli postati DD-i.
But at that time, what they needed to see was us moving on.
Ali u to vrijeme ono što je njima bilo potrebno da vide, to
And we
smo
went
bili
and
mi
sponsored
kako se
20
krećemo
front line.
napred. I zato smo sponzorisali 20 direktnih
We then sponsored another 20 front line to go emerald.
i onda smo sponzorisali još 20 direktnih da bismo postali
When we
smaragdi.
were emerald, we sponsored another 20 front line, and 9 months later, we were in diamond qualification with 8 legs.
Kada smo posle toga postali smaragdi, još 20 toga smo sponzorisali i kvalifikovali se posle 8
But
meseci
each
za...
time, the key was that we
Dijamante.
found someone who was ready to go fast.
Ali uvek je bio potreban neko ispred nas, ispred njih, ko će ići brzo.
And that motivated a lot of our other people that we had there.
I to je pokrenulo mnoge druge ljude koji su mi
Jim
osvojili.
about 2 years ago where I learnt a line.
Pre 2 godine na jednom sastanku Jim Dornan je
He
nešto
spoke
rekao.
for 5 hours.
Pričao je u stvari 5
And I
sati.
heard your group needs a better leader. You don't need a better group.
Rekao je, vašoj grupi je potreban vođa.
And I really, that's the thing I got the most out of that meeting.
To je ono što sam najviše upamtio sa tog
And
sastanka.
chances are your group needs a better leader.
Dakle, vašoj grupi je potreban bolji vođa.
Some of you are really good babysitters.
Neki od vas su stvarno dobri
And what your group
babysiteri,
needs is a leader.
ali vašoj grupi je potreban vođa.
So before you're going to get any success in this business, you need more people.
Dakle, pre nego što postignete bilo koji uspeh u ovom poslu, treba vam
It's
još
a great
ljudi.
secret in this business.
To je velika tajna ovog
You know, when
posla.
here you are now,
Dakle, vi ste sada ovde
and here you are 2 years from now.
i ovde ćete
And
biti za 2
everything that
godine.
goes from here to here is how are you going to duplicate through your
A
network.
kako ćete stići odavde do tamo, sve zavisi od toga kako ćete duplicirati.
All the stuff we talked about tonight.
Svi su stvari večeras pričali
And
o
how
tome.
powerful is your dream.
I o tome kako je moćan vaš san.
And have you made a decision now?
I da sada
A
donesete
lot of people
odluku.
last night got a vision when Jim was talking.
Mnogi ljudi su sinoć stvorili sebi viziju dok je Jim pričao.
What decision did you make?
Koju ste odluku
What
vi
do you have to
doneli?
do differently?
Šta drugačije treba da radite?
What do you have to do differently?
Šta vi trebate drugačije da
You got to
radite?
change things to get there.
Morate da nešto menjate da biste stigli do
Just
tamo.
understand that you got to leave this weekend with a decision on exactly what you're going to do.
Shvatite da ovaj seminar morate napustiti sa gotovom odlukom šta je to što vi želite da
Last
učinite.
night Jim talked about it being an inside job.
Sinoć je Jim govorio o poslu u našoj glavi koji se odvija.
He talked about it being an inside job, your success, right?
Naš posao se u stvari odvija u našoj glavi.
But I had that question 3 times today from people.
Ali danas sam 3 puta dobio isto pitanje od ljudi.
And I don't know what it's going to take for you to feel like you've made the decision inside of you to do it.
Ne znam šta je vama potrebno da u sebi donesete odluku da to učinite.
For us, often we had to get out and work first, and then we got the decision.
Mi smo uvek morali prvo da izađemo, da radimo, a tek onda da donosimo odluku.
When we looked in the mirror at 11 o'clock at night, we could see someone who was working hard, and we started to get belief in ourselves.
Kada bismo u 11 uveče stali pred ogledalo, videli bismo u ogledalu nekoga ko naporno radi i tada bismo počinjeli da
You're
verujemo u
not just going
sebe.
to get it, it's not just going to hit you, right?
Ne bojte se za sebe, nećete biti
Most of you just need to
povređeni.
get out there and prove to yourselves that you want it.
Treba samo da izađete odavde i da poboljšate sebe da
Now,
biste
some
dobili to što
people were
želite.
about Olympic athletes.
Razmišljala sam o olimpijskim igrama.
They talked about the fact that when somebody wins a gold medal,
Pričala sam o tome kada neko dobije zlatnu medalju.
there are 5 million people in the world with the same physical characteristics as the guy who won the gold medal.
U svetu ima sigurno još 5 miliona ljudi koji imaju iste fizičke karakteristike kao i osoba koja je dobila zlatnu medalju.
5 million people
5 miliona ljudi
with the same physical characteristics.
sa istim fizičkim osobinama.
And one guy got the gold medal.
Ali je samo jedan momak dobio zlatnu medalju.
Nothing can beat how you think.
Sve zavisi od toga
The biggest
kako vi
thing you want to do
mislite.
is lift your thinking this whole weekend
Najveća stvar koju možete da učinite na ovom seminaru je da poboljšate
and
svoj
feel
način
like I'm
razmišljanja.
going to do something different when I leave here.
I osjećajte da možete da učinite nešto drugačije
But
kada odete
understand the
odavde.
business you're in.
I shvatite posao u
You're
kome
in
se
the greatest
nalazite.
system there is in the world.
Vi ste u najboljem sistemu na svetu.
Let's tell you, we were just in the Philippines a little while ago.
Reći ću vam nešto. Kada smo
And one
bili
of our guys
nedavno na Filipinima,
got robbed. He was in a taxi, and they stopped him in a taxi.
jedan
We're
momak
at
je
gunpoint.
opljačkan u taksiju, pištoljem su mu pretili.
And him and his downline were in the taxi together.
On i njegov saradnik su zajedno bili u taksiju.
They got held up at gunpoint. The guy took his watch, $3,000 watch.
Tip koji je držao pištolj uzeo mu je sat vredan $3.000.
He took all of his money,
Uzeo mu je sav novac,
all his travelers' checks, everything he had.
sve putne čekove,
And
sve
after
što je
2
imao.
hours, we started to frisk him for more, what else he had on him.
Tip je posle toga počeo da pretura šta ima
And he
kod
pulled
sebe.
out a tape.
Izvadio je kasetu.
So the burglar pulled out a tape, from his guy's pocket.
Izvadio je kasetu iz njegovog
Now,
džepa.
after 2 and the downline was there with him, told me the story.
A saradnik koji je bio sa njim pričao mi je
He
ovu
jumped
priču.
up and he grabbed the tape from the guy.
On je skočio i uzeo
The guy still had a gun on
kasetu kriminalcu, iako je ovaj i
This
dalje
was the
držao
last
pištolj na
day that he was
njegovom
in the
čelu.
Philippines.
To je bio zadnji dan njegovog boravka na Filipinima
This was his last tape.
i ovo je bila njegova posljednja traka.
And he grabbed it back and said, "You can't have it, it's my last tape."
On je zgrabio tu traku i rekao tom kriminalcu,
Michael
ne
Jackson,
možeš da je imaš, to je moja posljednja
You're too
traka.
stupid to understand it anyway.
To nije Michael Jackson, ti si suviše
And
glup
I
da bi
need
to
it.
shvatio i meni je ona potrebna.
What are your instincts for this business?
Vidite svoje instinkte u ovom poslu.
Later, he couldn't even believe he did that.
Kasnije nije mogao da veruje da je to učinio.
But it's so funny what you value, isn't it?
Zar nije smešan taj sistem
Okay,
vrednosti?
Didi, thank you.
Evo sada Didi je već tu.
Ovaj materijal je vlasništvo korporacije Network 21 i služi isključivo za internu upotrebu. Strogo je zabranjeno javno emitovanje i prikazivanje putem elektronskih medija.